ultimately it doesn't feel
Look,
super grippy.
just look at this horseshit. This guy flew all the way to Italy to review a car. I've never done that before. I've never traveled to a country where the car is from just to review it.
Nicer car to drive, primarily because of the
You know what? I always wanted to drive a Dacia. And that is why I flew all the way to Romania to review this car, which is the Dacia, outside the very famous Ceausescu almost building here. So this is the Logan, which is a car actually been driven now for 4 days, and it's actually quite a decent car. It's the thing that's good about these cars are that it's a super duper cheap car. This car only cost 7,000 euros, or from 7,000 euros. And you have a variety of different engines to choose from. Everything from a 0.9 liter 90 horsepower petrol engine to a 0.9 liter diesel engine. You also have a 1.3 liter diesel engine, you have a 1.5. You can also have an LS whatever, green gas engine type or gas type, but that's not available in every country. You also have a lot of variety of different options on this car. But it really depends on which country you live in. This one is basically the box standard model. But the thing that's good about it is that you actually get Bluetooth connectivity, you get AC, you get electric windows. This is not standard in every country, so you have to really look for this. But the equipment is actually decent. To connect the iPhone, everything like that is very simple. You can even option out for the more luxurious version. You get a touch screen, which I've not tried, but it seems to be okay. But the seats are actually very comfortable. The driving position is actually very comfortable. And I think actually it doesn't look that bad. It looks actually okay when you consider that it only cost 7,000 euros, which is actually very, very good. But I think let's go for a drive in it and let's see what's what in this beautiful Dacia in the Romanian capital of Bucharest. Dacia, man, I feel like really Romanian today. Putting the key, starting this. This is actually the 0.9 liter, like 75 horsepower version of this car. It actually has start-stop and has actually an economical bottom. Whatever that does. This is, you have different Logans, you have different Dacias of course, but the model we're driving is the Logan. So here we got the normal sedan Logan. Here we got some people taking photos of their Mercedes outside Bucharest with the palace, which is quite funny. But we're driving the MSV version of the Dacia Logan, and MSV stands for like multi-capacity vehicle, which sounds like an army truck, which I think is really cool. Here we go, full acceleration in the Dacia. Yeah. Look at my fellow Dacia driver here. But actually to drive is not that bad. The gearbox feels okay. You even have a automatic gearbox option for those who wants to buy that. It's a fun car to drive actually. It's basically a 15 or 10-year-old Renault, which they've taken all the parts and putting in this car. And it does feel sort of a little bit out of date compared to modern day cars. It really feels like 2003 in here, but when you think about the price, that's why you buy a Dacia. You buy it because you're a cheapskate and you want to adjust the car, and I think for that money it does it great. And it's actually fun to drive. The suspension is very supple, it takes the bumps really good. Here in Bucharest you have some of the roads are quite rough, and you feel that the suspension levels out really, really nicely here. We got actually a police. Oh, it's yellow. Other things I think is quite funny with this car is, if you look at the rev counter, it goes all the way to 7,000 RPMs, and I love that they don't change the rev counter for the diesel model or for the diesel or for the petrol model. It's the same, which I think is quite funny. There we go, full acceleration in the Dacia outside the People's Palace here in Romania. I'm so excited. That's what I think about it. It's actually a fun car to drive. It's very comfortable. for the car. The seats are actually okay, driving position is okay, the engine feels actually okay. It's a Renault engine, so not that bad. And my Romanian friend that a lot of people changed for the Clio RS engines in them. It's quite easily, allegedly, according to him, which is good if you want to do that. One thing I think which is the drawback of this car is that I've seen that some people has some problem with reliability of this car. They not came. It's not that bad, but it seems that some of the parts, smaller parts, are not the most reliable. Overall, the engine and gearbox is actually quite reliable, but smaller things like the heater control, maybe the electric windows, small minor things, not that big of a deal, are popping up. Another thing, I think if you live in a northern country, Sweden, Germany, where it's a lot of snow and they use salt on the road, I think the Dacias will disappear quite quickly in the salt. Oh, I don't think I can turn here. No, I cannot. They will disappear quite quickly in the salt. They're not really good for salty weather. So have that in mind if you're buying one. But for the money, it's actually the cheapest new car you can buy. And how can you argue with that? So that's my quick review of the beautiful Dacia Logan MSV multi-capacity vehicle.